Pink Floyd and the Hey You from 101.5 WQUT, 319, Friday afternoon. Getting ready for the weekend. It's Don Hurley and getting ready for next weekend. I just can't get it here quick enough, unfortunately. That's the problem. We've got a show coming to East Tennessee Distillery in Piney Flats featuring the lead singer of Rad all the way through the 80s and 90s. And what a great guy he is. Stephen Piercy is making a trip here. And Tiny and Wilbur are with us right now from East Tennessee Distillery. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having us, Don.
Thank you.
I definitely need you to get way closer to that mic. There you go.
Thank you for having us, Don.
Yeah.
Now we can hear you. Well, anyway, we appreciate you coming by. This is a show that you guys have had in the makings here for the better part of a couple months. It was announced at the Mini Kiss concert, which was back in June, right? Yeah.
It's amazing how time flies, ain't it?
It really is. And yet at the same time, this show is going to be here in just about a week's time, and we'd love to see folks get on e-tix and get their tickets because, I know a lot of people like to wait and see what's going to happen with the weather, particularly with an outdoor venue. But at the same time, you guys have always been pretty blessed with some pretty good weather, haven't you?
Yes, Don, we have. A lot of times that's the one when you have an outdoor venue, you really think about the weather and hope it doesn't happen bad whenever you have the day, you know?
That's right.
But no, we have been really fortunate and blessed with good weather whenever we have a show.
Yeah, and, Mini Kiss, it rained a little bit, and you've had Quiet Riot out there. I'm trying to think of the other shows that you've had recently. But, you've been really lucky in that regard.
We had Faster Pussycat.
That's right, Faster Pussycat last summer.
We're kind of like a hair band distillery. We like the old stuff.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. That's where it's at. But anyway,
we grew up on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I did.
Exactly. Me too. Yeah, 1984, I was 17 and just starting in radio, but Out of the Cellar by Rat was one of the best albums that summer, easily. And we were playing tracks off that on the radio, and I was a baby DJ back then. I mean, here it is 40 years later, and you can look back on the whole catalog of Rat and say, that was a lot of good times in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Music still holds up today.
Yeah, it really does, Wilbur, because, you sit there and listen to those tracks, and it really just takes you back to a particular moment. I don't know how old you guys were in 1984, but, at the same time, it's one of those things, music has that ability to just take you right back and, it sucks you right in. And that's really what it's all about when you're out there. It's a great time. And the memories do come back. There's no doubt when you're sitting there listening to these shows. So East Tennessee Distillery has been doing shows now for a couple years, and you guys really have a nice spot out there for it.
Yeah, we have the courtyard. It's part of our property out there, and we've been doing we're in our third year of doing shows. And whenever you run a distillery, you're always trying to figure out ways to get people to come in, try your wares and visit you. And we do get tourists, but the next step in the evolution of that was let's start a venue to rent out to people and then put on your own shows. It's really kind of great because if I had to say I'm living a lifelong fantasy, Quiet Riot was one of my favorite bands. That,
right.
Twisted Sister and Rat. Well, getting Twisted Sister is going to be hard to do because I don't think they're together anymore.
No.
But Quiet Riot, oh my gosh. Stephen Piercy, Rat, I mean, oh my gosh.
Bucket list items here.
I know, and we're going to have people come to us, and hopefully everybody will have a good time.
We're chatting with Tiny and Wilbur from East Tennessee Distillery, getting ready for Stephen Piercy of Rat coming up next Sunday. And the gates open at 6 o'clock, and you just added another act to the bill in addition to Asylum Suite.
Yes, we had Midnight Mojo. It's a local band here. They have a pretty decent following. I think Jamie, and he's the drummer, I think. Anyway, I've listened to them. They're pretty good, and it was an opportunity. Well, hey, everybody wants to be here. Let's make the show better, And,
Indeed.
And I think people, if you come out next Sunday night, you're really going to enjoy a good show. We've got the best production guys and everything. I really think it's going to be good. Plus, we'll have our Lushies available for everybody.
Yes, and those were a big hit with the Mini Kiss crowd. I was kind of surprised everybody's walking around with one. And what goes into those things?
A little bit of moonshine, a little bit of Lushy mix, and a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, they look like a lot of fun, that's for sure. Let's back up the truck a little bit, talk a little bit about how you got going in the moonshine business, because you were really one of the very first, Tiny, to be able to do this legally in the state of Tennessee. And that took mountains of paperwork and copious amounts of lawyers, and I would imagine a ton of money in order to get this done. How long ago did you start making moonshine legally?
We've been making moonshine legally for about 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Any time before that, it's allegedly, and I can neither confirm or deny that. But no, I just had a passion for drinking. You know, comes back from my Navy days, and just hey, we can do this. You know, of course it's illegal, so you had to start out with beer and wine, which is legal,
right?
Anyway, and so it's always the next step. So Tennessee changed the law, and I pulled a few friends in, and we got it done, and it took about almost a year and literally pounds of paperwork because the internet wasn't, the government wasn't set up for the internet at that time. And anyway, a year later, we got open, and then it took us about 4 months to sell our alcohol. But once we started selling it, it kind of really took off.
I can imagine, yeah. And, you know, there are a number of different distilleries around that do everything from whiskeys and different things like that. But you tend to go more with the clear spirits, right?
Yeah, we do moonshine, we do vodka, and we're working on some rums.
Wow. That sounds great.
But we have the best moonshine around. That I'm pretty confident in.
Yes, you do. And I have to admit that I've had a taste or 2 or 5 or so. But, yeah, it's fantastic. How many different flavors do you guys do?
We got about 15 going right now.
Yeah.
But we've got a bunch that we haven't even come out with yet. So.
And what are the top selling flavors of moonshine?
My favorite right now is the cheesecake.
Cheesecake, wow.
Moonshine. Yeah, it's amazing. Really big up in West Virginia.
Root beer's been on a tear, too, here lately.
Wow.
If you like root beer, you got to try a root beer.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And what is the alcohol content typically of a shine?
Well, our flavored moonshine is 70 proof. Our flavored moonshine is 70 proof.
70? Okay.
With exception for honey ginseng. Our vodka and moonshine mix, they're running about 60 proof. And then we actually have our clear, which is 100 proof, 150 proof, and we have straight off the still, which pushes 180 proof.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? I've seen more people come in and try the 150 proof and absolutely love it. I mean, it just blows them away that you can have alcohol that high proof and that smooth.
That smooth. That was my next question, is because I've had 151, for instance, and my gosh, the burn is just intense. I can't imagine what it's like even at 180, but you say it's smooth. How does that happen?
Well, I have a theory, okay? And when it comes to alcohol, a lot of people try moonshine from the hills or whatever, and they taste it. Oh, my God, it probably tastes bad, and they associate alcohol with taste. And that's okay, because when you drink alcohol, your taste buds expand and absorb all the goodness.
Right.
However, if the moonshine is poorly made or not made good, it's a hobbyist practicing, the still, the water, everything they use is going to be in with the alcohol. So when that alcohol hits your tongue and your mouth, your nervous system goes, yay, but it brings in the flavor of the water it was mixed with as well.
Right.
And whenever you have a burn and you have the taste is magnified. That's my best guess, and I'm really not sure at that.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because, you've been doing it for a while, and obviously multiple distillations and so on and so forth, it gets smoother and smoother and smoother. I was just really wondering how the process to be able to get 180, man, that's just, that sounds vicious, but it could be delicious too.
People like it, so we'll give it to them.
Yeah, very good. So anyway, you started distilling, and you've got your different shines and your vodkas, and soon to have rums and things like that as well. Where did you get into the entertainment side of things?
Well, that's a good question. Alcohol and entertainment kind of go hand in hand. I've been to a lot of functions where there's been a lot of alcohol, and I've done tastings, I've done appearances and things like that over the years, and it just seemed the most natural, logical course of action for the business. So,
well, you see a number of different wineries and breweries and things like that, that have stages, and they bring acts out and so on and so forth, and they may get 100, 125 people on a Friday night or whatever, but, I mean, you're going big time here. I mean, you've brought in some acts that have, had some renown.
Well, I always say if you're going to do it big, So.
Right. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Next Sunday night, 6 o'clock, the gates open, and you want to get there plenty early because you got 3 different bands that night, and, by the time that Stephen Piercy takes the stage. I imagine it's going to be, what, about 8:45 or so?